Stugotz had some things, and Guillermo, let's make this the poll of the day, please. What is the funniest thing to have happened on Stugotz's cruise ship vacation? Now, are you going to add the story you began to tell me through snorting and snot giggles during the break? Is it going to be now 4 stories?
Yeah, I guess I can make it 4. It's going to be tough. We'll see if we can make the 4th one visually funny to people out there because it's funny, man.
All right. So what happened? What would you say? The things that Stugotz went on a cruise.
Yeah.
Drink package.
That's it.
So you've got Stugotz's normal bad judgment combined with, what do you get? You drink as much as you can for like $4 a day or something?
The drink package is, the drink package is evil is what it is. Okay. But it's unlimited drinks. And what you find yourself doing is you pay X amount for the drink package and you're trying to make sure that
you got to make sure you get your money's worth.
So you just don't stop drinking.
All right, so you come in here, smell. Is this a kid's cruise? What kind of cruise is this?
No, it was a Royal Caribbean cruise. I mean, a lot of kids on board, of course, but it was not it wasn't like a Disney cruise where it's mostly kids.
All right. So what would you say was your least favorite of the stories of things that happened to you on the cruise ship?
I mean, they're all classic. I'll just start with this one. I spent a good amount of time telling my daughter Rachel that she needs to conquer her fears. There was a Zipline on board, okay? And there weren't really, much in the way of water slides. It was more kind of older kids, adults, stuff like that, teenage kids, stuff for them, okay? Rock climbing walls, zip lines, stuff like that. And so one of my daughters, Rachel, I knew Emma wasn't going to do it, but Rachel wanted to try the zip line. And I said, I will do the zip line with you. And I, go into this long speech with a drink in my hand telling her that you need to conquer your fears. You need to conquer your fears. And one of my fears, really my biggest fear, is heights. I have a fear of heights. And this thing is way up there.
I didn't know. Did you guys know that? I'm learning this for the first time. I didn't know that Stugotz had I knew that you were scared of frogs.
Right. Well, and I have a fear of heights, too.
Okay, so this is good parenting. You got to conquer your fears.
Yes, you got to conquer your fears. Rachel, if you do it, I will do it. Let's go up there and do it. Got her all psyched up. Let's go do it. She said, Daddy, I'm in. She said, you go first. I said, oh, no. You go first, because what's going to happen here is I'm going to go, and then you're going to chicken out. Well, what actually happened there is she went first, and then I actually chickened out.
Stugotz.
No, I didn't, Dan. And this is not chickening out. This is, I have all the gear on. I am hooked to the zip line.
Stugotz.
The lady opens the door. I need flooring under my feet. I did not have it. I could not step out there. I could not do the zip line. My daughter has never been more disappointed.
Oh, my God. There's no way you're going to be able to top that story. Are you kidding me? Like, what, did that ruin the cruise? What happened?
She's looked at me differently since. Like I was Superman. I was a superhero. And now she finally found something. And she couldn't believe I bailed on her. And then she did it 10 more times. She did it 10 more. She had such a blast. She did it 10 more times.
So what happened to you? Did you go into a panicked frenzy? Like what happened? So you're all suited up. You're ready to go. And why didn't you do it?
Yeah, because I looked down. And they told me not to look down, and I looked down, and I couldn't step out over there. So the guy, I'm sitting there, and my daughter's great. She's saying, Daddy, don't do it. You don't need to do it. It's okay. I had fun. I'm going to do it again. You're scared. Don't do it. I don't want you to be nervous when you do this. So the guy who's running the zip line, this guy, he says, hey, buddy, why don't you step aside and take a few minutes to think about this? I have 2 6-year-olds ready to go. That guy.
I love that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
I want to send that guy a gift. Mike, send that guy a LeBatard Show t-shirt.
And he did. He had 2 6-year-olds.
Oh, my gosh. So what else you got? Well, that's your best story. You can't have something better than that.
I really don't have any. Well, I do have one that's better. I think that's better. So all weekend they have these trivia contests, and they're themed differently. One's a music trivia, rock music. There's a hip hop. There's an art trivia, and they're at the same place every single night, and the winner gets a prize. And so you get these, calendar schedule of events when you're on the cruise. So we knew, like 2 or 3 days in advance that there was a sports trivia.
Oh.
All right. Sports trivia. 8 o'clock, deck 6.
Oh, no.
Sports trivia. And my kids were really excited because they felt like they were bringing a ringer to this sports trivia.
The ringer was afraid of heights. So is this before or after the fear of heights failure?
Oh, this is after.
Okay, so this is going to end up with another parental disappointment. This cruise ship is going to be the moment your daughters realize their father's a buffoon instead of a superhero.
Pretty much. That's where we arrived at afterwards. So they're fired up and they're telling everyone. All right, Dad, ESPN, we got this. We got this. ESPN, no one on this ship knows more about sports than my dad. No one. And I started to feel the pressure as we're getting closer to Friday night, like 6, 8 o'clock. I'm starting to feel the pressure. So I get there, and the way they do these trivia contests is they give you 10 questions, you get a piece of paper and a pencil, and you have to have a teammate, and my teammate was my wife. And she wasn't going to answer any of them. I was going to answer all of them. But then when you're done, you have to hand your piece of paper to someone else as they read the correct answers because they need to grade it for you so you're not cheating, because I definitely would have cheated. There's no question about it. So I lost to an old couple. By a lot.
What were some of the questions that got you?
A lot of Olympic questions.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Mike, do we have Jimmy Butler next, or?
We're hoping he'll be joining us before the end of the hour. We're told, yes, it might not be next segment
All right.
after.
Well, if not, we'll get to Stugotz's third shameful cruise story next.
This is the Dan LeBatard Show on ESPN Radio.
A tornado flew.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We'll compare rates for you so you get the best deal, even if it's not with us, saving you time and money. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today. All guests appear via the Subway Fresh Take Hotline.
Jimmy Butler is going to join us in about 10 minutes. Ken Pomeroy is going to join us 5 o'clock Eastern, and that's just to give you your fix, because today's another one of those days that I watch and am mystified by the number of people talking about things as if they know who the sleepers are, as if any amount of information you have is actually going to help you in a bunch of one-game samples all over the place that are totally random.
It's weird, man, and I'm with you on that. It's weird because most people don't start watching college basketball until Thursday. I mean, that's it. That is the bottom line. I don't care. The experts who follow it, I respect them and their opinions, but anyone else, get out of here.
Well, if Seth Greenberg or Jay Billis is saying that Davidson's good, okay.
Yep, they're good.
I don't know if they're good. I don't know. It doesn't mean they're going to win.
But at least I know Jay and Seth watch those teams play.
I'm not watching those teams play during the season, and I'm not going to do the show where I tell you who all the sleepers are or who was snubbed and why Miami getting in was bad and Texas getting in was fair. I don't care.
It's weird because college basketball used to be one of my favorite sports. It no longer is. The regular season is meaningless, and I didn't really care much about yesterday. The selection show, I just didn't. I wasn't that into it. I don't even know why.
Well, I think that's you just aging.
Maybe.
I think that's you losing to a couple of old people on a cruise ship because you don't pay attention to sports the way you did 15 years ago.
Well, maybe.
Even though the old people seem to, evidently.
I'll be excited Thursday and Friday and for the entire tournament, of course. But
well, that's just because you're gambling.
Yeah, pretty much.
On teams that you don't know anything about.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
You're just going to bet Davidson because Billis or Greenberg, one of them's got him as a sleeper.
I have him in the Final Four.
So we've got some more funny stuff that happened with Stugotz on the cruise ship, though not as funny as what he just said. Basically, he berated everyone at a blackjack table for not playing correctly.
Yeah, I did that. Well, I was playing at a table with one other guy, and we were having a good run. And typically, when I get to a table and there are two people there and they're having a good run, I wait for that run to end until I start playing because I don't want to break up what it is that they're doing. That didn't happen at my table. Two friends, another couple who had no idea how to play blackjack, they saw me and the other guy were having a great run, and they decided this is a great time to jump in because the table's hot.
So you believe in the table jinx?
I do believe in the table jinx, and listen, I'm usually pretty patient with this stuff, but when the dealer, is showing a 6 and you have a hand that you have a 7, you're already beating him, and you're still hitting on those cards, or vice versa, I start to get angry. When you start costing me money, I start getting angry.
But those are two
I always
things.
sit at one of the first two seats at the table. I don't like being the end guy. I don't want to make the mistake.
You don't want the responsibility?
I don't want to.
It sounds to me, in general, like your daughters learned this weekend that their father, who used to be a superhero, is a coward.
Pretty much.
Sounds to me.
Well, Dan, the feeling, and you don't have kids, so it's hard.
That happens on vacation.
Right. I mean, it's hard to articulate the feeling you have when your daughter first realizes that dad is not invincible and really a coward.
Well, you're right. I mean, there are many stops between coward and invincible.
Yes. So I yelled at the entire table. I told one guy he should jump overboard.
I think she might have respected you more if you had. She would have had fewer bad feelings about you if the zip line had malfunctioned and you had fallen to your death. Because then she would have respected that while her father was not invincible, and that's a jarring way to learn that he's not invincible when he, sings to his death.
Dad died overcoming his fears.
Right. Well, at least my father is not afraid. But now she's just got the scarred image of you being in all the gear and holding up the line for the 6-year-olds on the zip line.
And it's on videotape. Abby videoed the entire thing. And Rachel wanted to post it on, I don't know,
Can we
Snapchat
put that on YouTube? Can we put that on our Twitter account, please? You.
No, Abby can send the whole thing, but when Rachel sent it out, I don't know, Instagram, I don't know how the kids are doing it these days.
Right.
I made her edit out the part of me chickening out.
What do you mean, Instagram? What do you mean you don't know how the kids are doing this today?
I don't know what they're doing. Snapchat, all these different apps that drive me crazy. They really do.
All right. So, Stugotz is correct on Blackjack. There are too many idiots that do not play right. Those are two different things, though. Not playing by standard math on Blackjack, I understand getting upset about. The jinxing of the table thing is less mathematical, and I believe in that far less. Regardless, Jimmy Butler joins us next.
Give it to me. More of the Dan LeBatard Show on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Get in touch with the show anytime to the 800 Flowers Twitter feed at LeBatard Show at Stugotz 790. Celebrate spring birthdays with a smile. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN for flowers and gifts starting at just $29.99. Jimmy Butler has teamed up with Kellogg's for their Give a Child Breakfast program. The program is aimed at fighting the statistics around childhood hunger. For more information, visit Kellogg's.com. And Jimmy Butler, we're hoping to have him here in just a second on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline.
We are waiting to get him to a better phone line, but in the interim, Guillermo, so we've got 3 stories so far of Stugotz on his cruise ship, and there's a 4th story on his vacation that involves him. What is that thing called? Is it boogie boarding? Is that what you were doing? Is that what it's called? A FlowRider. Is it wakeboarding? What's it called?
It's a FlowRider, and you could choose what you do, either a bodyboard or a surfboard, and so I chose bodyboarding. And I was trying to show my daughters how to do this bodyboarding on the FlowRider. And what I did, I'm like, listen, you just put the board down at the same time you kind of jump on the body. You guys have done this. You got it. We've done it. We've been to the beach. We've been in the ocean. We do it in the ocean. Just do it here. And I'm like, listen, let me show you how to do it. And I went down the side at an angle, not down the middle. I stuck the landing. I nailed it. But I went straight down the FlowRider and kind of just careened into like a little deposit area. And I got up and it was like a walk-off. I'm like, and I turned around to my girls and I'm like, that's how you do it.
You
nailed it first time. And the instructor goes, that's not how you do it, dude. You're supposed to be in the middle here. You're supposed to be riding the wave with me.
All right.